welcome back to my channel where I talk about crochet, book content, and all things of that nature. And if you like that kind of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about the books that I read in the month of August. Now, I didn't read as much books as I wanted to, but that's okay because we don't push ourselves more than we need to, you know? And we also don't make it an excuse to not film a video. We don't make excuses on this channel. But anyway, I read 3 books and I'm currently reading one book that I will most likely finish before the end of the month. But let's get into it and talk about these books. So the first book I read this year was Lore of the Wilds by Anna Leigh Sobrano. I give her a 2.5/3. I do. Because I was so excited. First of all, the cover, right? Black people on it. We love to see that. You know, we to see diversity. And, you know, dreads, curly hair, we love to see that diversity as well. So in the book, Laura is the main character, the girl on the cover. She lives in Duskmere, and Duskmere is a town full of humans in a world full of fairies. Duskmere is horrible. Like, it's like poverty riven, like it's like not cute or whatever the case is, and like it gets hit by a really big earthquake after one of the fairy princes comes to visit the apothecary. The next day later, they're like, hey, if you come to the library, because humans only could use it, like fairies can't use it, can you come to the library, find these magical tomes and help us use this magic, because there was a spell put on it, right? And then she starts working in the library. She doesn't really want to because she wants to help her family out, like during this like earthquake time or whatever. And when she finally like gets in the library and she's learning more and she sees a magical book, like she decides that she wants to escape with Asher. Now Asher is one of the guards that really took a liking to her. They have like a really cute relationship, but I want to say like 1/3 of the book, or maybe even a little less, she escapes knowing full damn well that like she might get killed, but she does it anyway. And then she makes Asher like lose his job because he's been there like a long-term guard and he's there defending her. So already I'm like, I don't like it when main characters mess up their life. I don't like it. And I also don't like it because I feel like in other books where they try to redeem the main character, like no one is really, like she's still perceived as a very like good character that everyone likes. And I'm just sitting here like she's literally messing up everything in her life. Like so many people don't have the privilege to even do things, and let alone, I raise my hands up. Anyway, I just feel like Laura is unlikable. I didn't really like her at all, and I think a lot of things didn't make sense in the book. I think Anna Leigh, the author, you know, she definitely had really good writing when it comes to like describing things and describing scenes and like metaphors. Like all that stuff is great, but there were so many things about the plot that literally did not make any sense. Like the fact that humans were only allowed in the library in a fairy castle literally did not make any sense, and like nobody explains that. And the book ends on a to be continued, and then she starts falling in love with another dude that's actually like really mean to her. And I guess that's enemies to lovers if you guys are both mean, but not when like one person's mean. Like instead he just looks like a bad person. But I wouldn't really recommend Lore of the Wilds to anyone, to be honest. I was really excited to read it because of the cover, but honestly like I just was left like empty and confused, to be very honest with you. So the next book that I read was Cemetary Boys by Aiden Thomas. Now this book is set in a cultural family where Yadriel, which I love his name, Yadriel is a brujo, but he wants to prove to his family that is a brujo. So if you don't know what a brujo is, it just basically means witch. So he does a rite to Lady Death against his family's wishes, because guess what? Yadriel is a trans man, okay? So Yadriel was born a female and his family wants, or he was technically supposed to be a bruja, and his family is just like, well, like, you're trans, so you can't go through the right to lady death as a bruja. You just can't do that. But Gabriel does it anyway. And it's proof that he is truly a brujo, and it's very like gender affirming. I think especially it's really important for young adult film, for like people who are reading this and who are trans to feel like gender affirmed throughout their story. So I think that's really cool. I do think that the beginning was all about like trans. I didn't really feel like that was necessary, but that's coming from me as someone who, you know, grew up, born and raised New York City, and I've been around different people and cultures. So for me, it just felt like, yeah, I know, you know, power to the people, like, I get it. So it's like, it kind of felt like it was like honed in. But I do like understand that like some people need more of like an explanation of trans stories if they haven't really heard them before. Anyway, wrapping that up, essentially one of his uncles are dying. He gets a pain in his chest. He's like, boom, 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 something's going on. So he decides that he wants to find the spirit. They use a metal, and they don't find Miguel, his uncle. No. They find Julian, the fine, you know, bad boy from his school. And I'm saying all this, but like, he's actually dead and he's a ghost. He summons the ghost of someone from his high school. And they basically go on a quest to where they're figuring out what happened to both Miguel and Julian, because it seems as though all these events happened in the same night. And I give Cemetary Boys a 5 out of 5. And the reason why is because when an author blends so many themes together, I eat it up. I just do. There was so many Latinx themes, like what does it mean to be a man or a woman in Latin culture, because the language is very gendered. It has to do with issues that Latinx communities have in Los Angeles, I believe. Even just San Francisco, like there's a lot of migrants. It talks about like deportation, it talks about immigration, it talks about the unlawful and unfair ways that Latinx communities are treated. It also blends Mexican culture. They have a lot of like Hispanic phrases and reference to like Mexican feuds of Dia de los Muertos. So honestly, I think what I love the most about it was the fact that it really questioned what it means to be alive. Because Yadriel wants to prove that he's a brujo so bad, but he looks to Julian and he finds life in Julian through laughter and through his carefreeness and through dancing, even though he's technically not alive, like he's a ghost. And I think that it was a really big message to really appreciate the things that you have. So I really loved Cemetary Boys. So the next book that I read was The Ghosts of Rose Hill by R.M. Romero. And it's so funny that I'm just like reading like books about ghosts. It's actually kind of funny. It's like back to back to back. And this book specifically is about a young woman. She is unnamed, if I'm not mistaken. She has a Cuban mother and a Jewish father, and the book talks about the themes of being from both cultures and what that's like, because as we know, like Cuba has had a very unfortunate history with dictatorships, and we all know what the Jews went through when it comes to the Holocaust and Hitler and all of those things. And I think that this author does an amazing job of thinking about what that weight does to someone who's growing up in the United States and doesn't exactly went through those experiences. Like, I never really thought about it like that, because I know that I have weight from my family's history of slavery and colonization and genocide. Like, I know that I carry that weight, but thinking about the weight of what it must be like for Jewish communities to kind of live in an America that's a little ignorant towards people, they do a really good job at like touching on like how sad it is, like, because you're just like, yeah, I just want to be an American teenager, and your family's like, we don't want you to grow up like us. You're just like, that, like, you're right, but like, can I live? So they talk about the difference between like those two communities a lot. Anyway, back to the plot. she is interested in music. She loves the violin, I believe. And her family's like, well, violin ain't gonna get you into no college, ma'am, so you gotta start studying. And she's like, no, they ain't gonna make friends. So they sent her booty off to Prague because they're like, you're gonna go study with your aunt since you're not studying here in Miami. And she goes to Prague, and then she finds like a Jewish cemetery, and she finds a ghost boy, Benjamin. She does have a name. Am I bugging? Am I bugging? Is it like Alana? Or something like that? Wait, hold on. Hold on. It is Alana. So she goes to Prague, she's cleaning up the cemetery, she meets a boy named Benjamin. Benjamin's a ghost. And then it kind of takes off from there with talking about a river spirit that is like eating souls in the town, specifically Jewish souls. Because I didn't know this, and as a history major I definitely felt a little weird that I didn't really know like the importance of learning more about the Jewish community in Prague specifically. And the way the author explained Prague is like a very mystical community that's very like on the border between here and like another world. So when the river spirit like finds this, you know, space in Prague, he's like, wow, I can use all of these Jewish souls that were lost to power me. And I'm just like, that is so sad. But the way that the writer writes it, it's so like, she writes in such a beautiful like poetic way, and you really feel moved with the imagery, and you feel so connected. Like, it really moves you. Her writing really and truly moves you because you see Ilana like working through the pain. Like you literally can feel her working through the pain of like her intergenerational trauma and like trying to change that for herself. 5 out of 5. I truly enjoyed it, and I honestly want to read more of her stuff because like the way that I like sped through this book was actually crazy. So I definitely want to read more of her things. So the book that I am currently reading, I got my little bookmark in it, and honestly a bad reading habit that I had was folding the pages, so I'm really glad that I'm sticking to a bookmark. Is Dead Dead Girls by Nikisha Afia, and I'm actually very excited to read this novel because I did have it on my library for like forever, literally forever. So I'm really happy that I'm finally getting around to reading it because honestly like it's been a minute. Anyway, it's about a murder mystery in Harlem. That's all I've gotten so far. Louise Lovey Lloyd is just minding her business, going to the club, partying up, hey, and she's going to work the next morning and finds a dead body on the street. It also starts off with the kidnapping, and as you know, I don't really like those kind of themes in my books. I don't like kidnapping, like details of murder. Like murder mystery is fine, but like how they did it and how they assaulted, like I'm actually good. No thank you for me personally. So I was really scared in the beginning because it was a kidnapping, and I'm like, where's it going, what are you gonna do, but thankfully it wasn't too graphic. So far it's a murder mystery without being too graphic, which I enjoy. And yeah, so I'm currently reading this. I started it yesterday. I'm on page 21. I had to sleep and do other things, so that's this book. Here is my to be read for September. I have 4 books that I hope to finish in September. So the first one that I hope to finish is Good Girl, Bad Blood, a sequel to A Good Guides to Murder. I really liked Holly Jackson's book the first time around, so hopefully like hopefully she'll come through this time. The next book I was so excited like to get and to read. First of all, look at the cover. First of all, give it a minute. She's beautiful, okay? By Su Lin Tang. And it's about the daughter of the moon goddess. And honestly, I was like, oh, it's like a metaphor, like, you know, it's a metaphor. No, she's from the moon. She's from the moon, and I feel like I would enjoy reading something like this. So this is definitely a book that I'm going to take with me on my travel trip. The next book that I'm taking with me on my travel trip is Supermarket. First of all, look at the cover. I really have been judging books by their covers, but this is a murder mystery. Flynn is stuck and depressed and starts working at a supermarket where he soon finds a murder. And this is hilarious because I was like, oh, like, you know, Bobby Hall, whatever, like, he's cute. And then my boyfriend was like, you know, that's Logic, right? I was like, Logic? What do you mean Logic? He's like, yeah, like Logic wrote a book. I was like, what? Logic? And like, it actually looks cute too, so let's see if he can. I mean, if you're a rapper and you're actually like a good rapper, I'm sure that you could like write a good story. So I'm excited to see what this entails. And my last to be read is The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. I hope to read this towards the end of September where I can truly appreciate like you know, the cozy fall vibes. V.E. Schwab is a very popular author, especially in the spooky community, and my friend has been like pushing me to read their stuff, so I'm very excited to read that. A lot of reds, a lot of blues, and falling in love with reading has been so healing. So if you like this video, please make sure you like this video. And once again, my name is Brianna. I make crochet, book content, all things of that nature, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.